Indigenous people from throughout Canada, other people from throughout Canada and throughout the world. All of this makes Inuvik a great place to live. Item number 2, the adoption of the agenda. Moved by Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Parrott. Any further additions, changes needed for the agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Declaration of conflict of interest or pecuniary interest with any of the agenda items. Seeing none, hearing none. Item number 4, delegations, presentations, or petitions. We have the RCMP report, but they will not be giving it verbally, so that report's in your packet. Item number 5, public question period. We're probably safe there. Horatio is here to answer any questions on the donation to the warming shelter, and Genesee is here. She's doing a story. She's a writer, reporter. She's doing a story on the town of Inuvik. And then the rest are staff. Welcome. Item number 6, the adoption of the minutes from the July 6th and 8th council meetings. Moved by Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Lemieux. Any further changes needed on those minutes? All those in favor? Motion carried. Action items, any further follow-ups on anything?
Nothing new to report since Monday.
Okay, good to go on that one then. Item number 8, new business, 8.1. Request for council decision 2026-055, amend lottery license for Mega Bingo. Questions, further questions, comments on item 8.1? So let me just read out the actual motion. Be it resolved that the Inuvik Town Council hereby approves of amending the terms of the Inuvik Curling Club lottery license for its October 10th, 2026 bingo as follows: increasing the jackpot card prize to $100,000, setting the price of jackpot cards at $50 each. Any questions, comments on the motion? You just need a mover and seconder. Move it. Yeah. Moved by Councillor Lemieux, seconded by Councillor Parrott. Sorry, any further questions, comments on the motion? All those in favor?
Yes. Yes.
All those opposed? Motion carried. 8.2, request for council decision, Inuvik warming shelter, request for a donation. Motion, be it resolved that Inuvik Town Council approve in-kind donation to the NWT Integration and Community Services for the warming, that's not in there, valued at $280, consisting use of the town's portable barbecue propane and delivering pickup services for free barbecue serving Inuvik's unhoused population on August 14th, 2026. Moved by Councillor McDonald, second by Councillor Lemieux. Any further discussion on that donation? All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion carried. 8.3, request for council decision. Okay, option 1. Be it resolved that Inuvik Town Council hereby approves a front yard setback variance of 3.5 meters from 4.0 meters to 0.5 meters and a lot coverage variance of 8.9% from 40% to 48% at lot 49, block 70, plan 1154, known as 14 Cook Mallet Road, relating to development permit 26-7 for an existing greenhouse structure and walkway as per section 4.8.2 of zoning bylaw 2583/P+D/15. The landowner is provided until October 15th, 26 to complete the modification before enforcement fines are implemented. Moved by Councillor Lemieux, seconded by Councillor Perry. Any further discussion on the motion? Councillor Perry.
Just to be clear, the motion, it was option one.
That was the
Yeah.
direction
Okay.
from Monday, yeah.
Thanks.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
yes,
All those opposed? So do we? Are you recording the opposed?
Yeah.
In favor, okay, it's 3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it, okay. Motion carried. 8-4, request for council decision. This is on the proceedings and discussions regarding the Telsa supercharger license. Now, this would also have had a change. Be it resolved that the Inuvik Town Council directs administration to continue discussions and due diligence with Telsa Motors Canada ULC regarding a proposed Telsa supercharging station at the Inuvik Gateway sign property located at 25 Carn Street.
I think, based on the discussion on Monday, that 25 Carn Street, was that not part of the discussion, was
Not to have it there. No, I think the
yeah, I think
direction,
that,
the direction was to look at moving it to the MSC.
yes, that's
Yeah,
correct, yeah.
so let's just change that. Sorry, that should have been changed. So, the sign at, the Midnight Sun Complex. Because we needed to identify electric connection, but it would be somewhere in that area. Moved by Councillor McDonald, second by Councillor Lemieux. Any further discussion needed on that? All those in favor?
Yes,
Motion carried. Request for council decision. This is on the audited financial statements. Be it resolved that Inuvik Town Council hereby approves the 2025 audited financial statements as presented. Moved by Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Lemieux. Any further questions on the audited financial statements? All those in favor?
yes,
Motion carried. Moving on to bylaws. 9-1, request for council decision. We'll get this on the floor and then, Cindy's gonna give a, kind of a briefing on it because, of all the changes that were, put forward. So be it resolved that town council hereby gives second reading to a bylaw number 2771/GEN/26, a bylaw to amend road naming bylaw number 2710/GEN/23. We'll do second reading first and then we will proceed further. Cindy, do you want to give an overview of what all the changes were?
So based on the community feedback that was provided with regard to the recommended changes to Carmichael East and West and merging it into Carmichael and renumbering, council direction on Monday was to not pursue that. And with regard to the Upper Bombas moving to Ptarmigan Street or Ptarmigan Way, it was also recommended that we consider adding Stringer to that. So those when we reviewed the changes to that bylaw with MACA, they advised those were significant changes to the bylaw from first reading. So they have recommended that we defeat this bylaw, or you defeat this bylaw, and then we will pursue the Ptarmigan Way, going through the same process that we did the last time, advising the committee that, that Carmichael is not going to change, that Ptarmigan Way, while people are in support of Ptarmigan Way, they are considering Stringer. So we'll go back to the committee to discuss that, and then we will have the 30-day notice for a public consultation. We will go through that again. And depending on that public consultation, we'll either proceed with the original Ptarmigan Way or the Ptarmigan Way and Stringer. So we won't anticipate anything until September for any of those changes to be made, and we'll just go through this process again for Ptarmigan Way.
Okay, sorry, did I get a mover and second?
No.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. So, did have a mover and second before all the discussion. Okay, moved by Councilor Lemieux, seconded by Councilor Pear. Now we have that discussion. Any further questions, comments on the changes? Councilor Pear?
Will the inclusion of consideration for Stringer go back to the naming committee before it then comes for first reading to the?
Yes, it
council?
would go through, and we will already arrange the public consultation as well. So to make it a little bit more seamless, but ultimately it's gonna be one of two things that's gonna happen. It's either gonna be the original Ptarmigan Way or it's gonna be the extended Ptarmigan. Depending on the public consultation, we'll have one of two bylaws coming your way.
Any further questions, comments on 9-1? Because I didn't get the mover and second, so I'm just gonna read the motion again. Be it resolved that Inuvik Town Council hereby gives second reading to bylaw number 2771/Gen/26, a bylaw to amend road naming bylaw number 2710/Gen/23. All those in favor? All those opposed?
Opposed.
Motion defeated. Okay, thank you. 9-2. Try to get them open on the table first. Again, first reading, be it resolved that Inuvik Town Council gives first reading to bylaw number 2772/H and S/26, a bylaw to amend cemetery bylaw 2712/H and S/23 to instate new burial plot reservation fees and update the town's cemetery administration requirements. Moved by Councilor McDonald, seconded by Councilor Lemieux. And again, we'll just have Cindy give an overview of what those changes were based on the discussion we had Monday.
So based on the discussion Monday, we were provided with direction to continue to have reservations. So that is still included in the bylaw. The discussion also was if we are doing reservations, then a fee be attached to those reservations. So that is included in the bylaw. One thing you will need to determine that we will either discuss at a committee level before bringing it is the changes to the fees and services, to determine what that fee is going to be. It's not going to affect the bylaw. It is, because it's already included in the bylaw, this is just our fees and services policy. So we can give some thought to how much the plot reservations. The other expectation of those plot reservations is if we cannot get our equipment in there, then it will be the responsibility of the family member to hand dig rather than disturbing it. So that was the first topic, was the plot reservations. The second topic was the permit for monuments, which is an administrative burden, frankly, because it's difficult to control that. There is a section in the bylaw that actually gives the SAO the power or permission, if there is anything offensive, to have it removed. So we don't necessarily need every family member or every family that is laying somebody to rest to come and get a permit for the size of the monument and, you know, what the monument's going to look like. So that's an administrative burden that we didn't feel was necessary for grieving families to have to go through.
But if there is something messed up, you have. the
Then
authority
I
to
will
go in and-
address it. Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
And so we had the discussion on Monday, where is this going, what's this look like? So this is, I think courtesy of Charlotte. Did you do the picture or Daniel?
Emily.
Daniel did, so here's.
Emily did.
Oh, Emily did, okay, so here's the Kurt graveyard, this is where we're expanding. And this is, of course, the land we don't own yet, but we will soon own. And then there's room for expansion in different directions based on where the ground is high. And then if we go to the next image. We should break that down or no? Anyway, so this will be the piece.
Here we go.
There we go, okay. There we go, so, that's on the upper part of that section 4. So these are the non-reservable, so we first come, first serve, and it'll march all the way down on those 2 areas, then we got access. And these will be the ones where you can reserve for an entire family. And that way you can get access in, so it doesn't have to be first come, first serve.
Yeah.
It can be, you can use 1 or 2 of them and then, 10 years later, use the other ones or, whenever your family passes on. So that's how that will be laid out in that section and still allow for access for maintenance and things like that. Then the older part of the graveyard, which still has some reserved plots, in this area will still be reserved. Any questions on the layout, Councilor Lemieux?
Like how much space is there, like in the current cemetery now? Like how many plots are there, like next to 0?
Like a
Here?
Yeah,
Very few,
Very
probably, there might be, I think Daniel said there's 10 reserved.
10 reserved, but in terms of non-reserved plots, maybe 5 spots where we could put somebody else in,
Okay.
so we anticipate, I mean,
so the addition that being doing is like, how long is that expected to be in play before that's
Go
full?
back to, well, depends on how many reserved, because right now, so there's 81 reservable, 54 non-reservable. What are we doing, about 12 a year?
About 1 a month, so
Like-
yeah, 12.
About 1 a month. Yeah.
So, like, I just take a look at the footprint there. And, we got like 2/3 of that space is reservable that could be vacant for 20 years. Like, why we got so much space for reserved? Like, I just don't know why it's so many if we're that dire of, if we're dropping like that, I mean, I
so
think
because
we
for
should have.
clarification, Daniel, what you're proposing is these are just what we've set aside for people for reserving, but if
I get it, but I
if not
mean,
all of those people have, that doesn't mean that we can't use these.
Mhm.
It's just that we've set those aside.
okay, so that you can.
Yeah. we
So
certainly-
from the reserve side, then, like, so as we fill up
As we fill up here and say there's only like
10,
50 of these or 10 of these that are
we
reserved.
could just
Then we
continue
can
going.
continue to
Okay,
fill
fair enough.
ones
Yeah,
that aren't reserved in the
Yeah.
reservable
Yeah.
spot.
yeah, I just wanna make sure we're maximizing what
Yeah,
the
Yes,
space that we're
Yeah.
taking.
but it does take more space when you go to
Well,
the
yeah, you can see
reservable model, because you gotta have excavator access.
Yeah,
Takes more
like, how many reserved spots do we have now?
About 10.
about
In,
10.
in like how many years?
Yeah,
So
not
do we
much.
need to have that many? Can
Nothing's gonna
we,
be used, nothing's changed.
no, well,
Well,
yeah, these are all new available reserve lots.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the current model that we had in the existing phase 1 and 2 and 3 is very similar to this. So the trend would be very similar, right?
Yeah.
It would be not that much different than the existing thing. So there shouldn't be from the trend that much difference from past to the future.
That's right, but right now, if you've only got 10 reserved spots,
That's just 10 that are left.
Yeah, that's just.
Ten that are
and
left.
how many were there in total?
All of them.
Oh, who knows? It's been
Oh, so
over,
we don't know.
been over 60 years.
Yeah.
It's just whatever's left is been
Yes.
reserved.
Oh, okay, so then the need for that many is there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then that's.
Most families, most, especially local families, want to be buried at least with their spouse and
Yeah.
then maybe, their parents or whatever.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah. And it'll also, as some of these get filled, then, we'll be able to see where things are at and where the next expansion is.
Okay.
And the non-reserve, the other potential plan is there would be a fee for the reserve spots. And the non-reserve would still be free because you're not taking up as much space, but also it allows us to fill this more efficiently. Because the first row will be filled, the second row will be filled, and you
Yeah,
keep marching back so the excavator can
no,
still get it.
100%, I get it, yeah.
Any other questions on the cemetery and the plan? Okay. So we've had the motion, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
So we have to read these because it's a bylaw, so we have to do
Right.
first and second.
Yeah, so that was first reading. So I read the first one. So be it resolved that Inuvik Town Council gives second reading to bylaw number 2772/HNS/26, a bylaw to amend cemetery bylaw 2712/HNS/23 to instate new burial lot reservation fees and update the town cemetery administration requirements. Moved by Councilor Lemieux, second by Councilor McDonald. Any further questions on second reading? All those in favor? Motion carried.
Can I just make one more comment? With regard to the fees then, before the third reading, so before next council meeting, we'll have the discussion at the committee level to recommend what that change to the policy, the fee is going to be. And then we will make a motion, a request for council decision relevant to the policy at third reading as well. Okay?
Okay. We don't have any, item number 10, we don't have departmental updates on this, information items. We went through, information item on Wednesday. That about the dentist, hopefully opening in October. We had the minister visits, fill and flow this weekend. The only other information item since then, Senator Anderson is bringing up the Taiwanese ambassador to Inuvik on September 10th. And they will be in town and meeting with various people throughout the community, and the ambassador is very interested in economic development and what that might mean in the north from a Taiwanese perspective. Any further information items? No. We don't have any in-camera sessions. Motion to adjourn. Moved by,
Council concerns.
oh, sorry, why did I miss that again?
It's not subliminal.
Yeah, lots of concerns. I'm sure there are no more after Monday. Item number 12.
Actually, just a follow-up for council concerns. So with regard to the camping, Director Verrier, identified several things that we've done to address camping, since July, since it was, identified to us. So part of that is the Dempster Highway, travel groups. We've actually posted, you're welcome, but part where we're telling you, no overnight camping in any of the spots. Further to that, they've also done up brochures that are available at the Welcome Center, directing the travelers to the two campgrounds. as well as provided them to our municipal enforcement officers who do patrols in town to address anybody that appears to be camping overnight. And those brochures are also given to them as well.
And Cindy, is there signs gonna be put out in those, what we call the problem areas or what we,
So the only place where there's no signs right now is the Inuvik welcome sign.
Okay.
Everywhere else, there are
Okay,
signs.
and that,
Yeah.
I would just,
Yeah,
hard
and
to tell
we'll-
somebody not to park somewhere if there's no information, tell them not to.
Yeah, so the parks, the parking lots, there's signs posted at the Welcome Center, at the MSC, at both parks as well. And, like I said, municipal enforcement does do patrols. And, they have actually had interactions and talked with people to move them along. For the most part, people are understanding. There has been a couple of, situations where, it wasn't well received, but the individuals complied anyway. Yeah. So there's that one, and then the other one was the request to have the garbage bin at the boat launch. So,
Additional one, yeah.
yeah, an additional one, and
The request have been sent to the contractor and they'll put that in place.
yeah, so we've already sent that request, and it should be hopefully within the next week.
Okay.
To be put there.
One other thing on the signage,
Yeah.
on Monday, didn't we talk about possibly something on Airport Road or on the Dempster just coming into town about getting signage there as well? Just like camp and designated areas?
We will look at that. We'll see if it's in this year's budget for signage. I
Okay.
know that we've got some road signs that are gonna be changing, so, we will look at that as well and see if there's additional signs that can be posted.
Any further council concerns?
Yeah.
Councilor McDonald?
Just a question on the rec center, is there an update? I haven't been in a while, but update on the steam room, hot tub?
The steam room has a gas leak. They were in there looking at it today, and so they're waiting on some parts to fix that. We're still waiting on the contractor to come back and fix the hot tub. We've contacted them multiple times at this point, and they just haven't had the time or been available to come get back at that, so.
Well, look at me, I'm retired. So my problem.
It is if you wanna go in the hot tub.
I'll have one out at Shell Lake, I'm fine.
So the gas leak, is that a different issue than that was with the steam room previous? The steam room
Yes.
is down for.
Yeah.
A long
That
time.
is correct. Originally, it was a sensor that was causing it to read like it was overheating, so it wouldn't steam up. They've since replaced that sensor, and in replacing that, they noticed the gas smell and called in the contractor over the last couple of days, and there's also a gas leak that needs to be addressed before they can come back online.
And just one more thing, I had, one of our residents, young residents, who don't put a lot of input, but had a complaint about, some of the janitorial duties at the rec center. They said they had brought it to the attention of the front desk, numerous times. So I've instructed them to document what was going on because I don't see it a lot. I know you're talking about the same with the squash courts, I don't know how often they're mopped. But, I have instructed them to maybe document this and bring it to me, if there's further problems, just to let you know.
Appreciate the council, Morano. Also, if they have issues with cleanliness or any of the equipment or anything like that, there is a QR code that Charlotte and her team created, and those come directly to myself and to Lori, the recreation coordinator. And so that's really one of the fastest ways to get those addressed. I think I know some of the cleanliness issues you're speaking of. We had a few patrons come into the gym specifically over the last few days with muddy boots and made quite a mess of it. And so we did receive a complaint about that, but because we got it through the QR code, we were able to address it fairly quick. So if you can direct people towards that, that's one of the best tools that we have right now. But I appreciate you bringing it up.
They do.
Any further council concerns? Seeing none? Motion to adjourn. Moved by Councilor Parrott. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.